Video games based on pre-established licenses have always had a certain stigma behind them. That being, they aren't very good. Though there have been a few notable exceptions to this rule, like South Park: The Stick of Truth, The Simpsons Hit and Run, Toy Story 3 the game, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. Hell, if you really want to reach, you could throw the Cars THQ games in there. And I know I'm going to, because I'm biased as shit. As time's gone on, I feel like the people who work on these types of games care a lot more about encapsulating the world and feel of the franchise they're based on. I mean, look at games like Spider-Man and again South Park. And with the movie tie-in dying off around the end of the Wii, PS3, and Xbox 360 era, we've seen a massive uptick in quality for these types of games. However, I want to go back to that era and take a look at a game based on a license that a lot of you may not even know about. I'm talking about Charleyyy and Friends, the video game.
Hi, I'm Charlie, and welcome to my video game!
The show, Charleyyy and Friends, began its run back in 2014, exclusively on the TV station Laughbox TV. If you have no idea what that is, well, it's because the channel only existed in Pensacola, Florida, with very few cable providers picking up the station outside of that area. The show followed the titular character, Charleyyy, getting into all sorts of shenanigans while the viewer, or more appropriately titled, his friends, would watch. The show would follow scenarios such as Charleyyy trying to poop, passing a kidney stone, playing catch with his dad, and I remember one specific episode where he gave away his pet parrot. I wonder who ended up getting it. The show had a very dedicated but fairly small following. After being cancelled and simultaneously put back on air the next day, it went to spawn a movie adaptation in 2015. But again, I'm getting off track. Winding back to 2014, a video game was created based on the property, called Charleyyy and Friends the Video Game, and seeing how a lot of other YouTubers have made videos about the TV series, and I've seen very few on the game, I thought we could take a look at that today instead. So let's see what this game is all about. The game opens up with Charleyyy asleep in his bed and you have to yell to wake him up. This is a very interesting use of the technology for the time because to my knowledge, the PS3 controller doesn't actually have a microphone in it, but it read my voice just fine when I yelled at him. I could just be schizophrenic though, who knows. Anyways, the game is fairly open world. I didn't get to spend much time in it since I was crunched for time making this video, and I'd also like to keep some of the game a secret as well as there's some cool shit in here. But let's see what else we can do. A lot of the game is filled with extremely charming humor, just like the show it's based on. Like this one instance where I had to brush my teeth, I grabbed the hairdryer instead and it completely subverted what I thought was gonna happen. It's a very clever use of comedy. Also, this game looks breathtaking as well, especially for the PS3. But in all fairness, my favorite games tend to be these ones, so I don't know if my opinions on graphics really mean anything. They probably don't. You're also able to freely customize Charleyyy's outfit. It seems fairly in-depth, but I went with the classic Charleyyy look in the end. One of the most exciting parts of this game though, and probably the part I was most looking forward to, was the driving. And I'm pleased to report that it's really, really good. It lets you drive anywhere throughout this town, though you have to keep an eye on your gas meter because if it runs out you get a game over and you get sent to the start of the day again, which is honestly pretty annoying. They could have done without that. Wow. This place is pretty ghetto. There were also these coins you could pick up throughout the day. I didn't find a use for them in my playthrough, so I'm assuming they're just collectibles. I'd really like to see an all-coin run of this game one day. The story of this game is also fairly similar to the show. That being, there is no story. You just go throughout your day doing whatever the hell you want. Except this time, you're in control of what Charleyyy does. Do you want him to eat breakfast? My answer was no, he was very hungry. I don't recommend doing that. The game's open world setting also really complements the gameplay as well, letting you do whatever you want until the credits roll. A lot of people like to credit Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild as the game that popularized the open world format for video games, but let it be known, Charleyyy and Friends did it 3 years before Nintendo could. I will say though, the game is fairly short, as you can beat it in an afternoon if you really grind it out. But it's heavily replayable because of how much humor is packed into it. You can play it over and over and over again, and still find new jokes, and Charleyyy will always have a new witty thing to say. I highly recommend you play this game for yourself. It's on PS3, but I'm pretty sure you can play most PS3 games through PS Plus on the modern systems. Though I still foresee you having trouble playing this game anyways, because it doesn't exist. Thanks for watching!